I just see a lot of people my age or younger bragging and boasting about their nice cars, houses, and vacations. And I just feel like I'm losing at life. I live a pretty humble lifestyle, but what am I doing wrong? How do I afford this?
You said people your age. What is your age?
I'm 33.
Okay. You're single?
Yes.
Okay. What do you make?
I make $60,000 before taxes.
Good for you. What do you do?
I'm a health educator.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Fun. All right. Do you have a lot of debt?
I actually have no debt except for my mortgage, which I only owe $140,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, this is the problem that the millennial, your generation, was one of the first ones to really, really struggle with it. Rachel Cruz, my daughter, wrote a #1 best-selling book talking about this whole thing of the power of social media and the power of, it used to be that we would say, don't keep up with the Joneses. Have you ever heard that old saying?
Of course.
Yeah. But the problem was in those days, it wasn't as hard to keep up with the Joneses because they lived next door, and you saw them drive in their car, but you also saw them have a big fight. And you also knew that their kids were messed up, and you knew this and you knew that. So, when they got a car, it wasn't as big a deal because you kind of knew some of the dirt too, right? But on social media, your only thing you're looking at is the highlight reel. You're only looking, because nobody posts on there, "Oh, my husband just got me a 1992 Honda, #blessed." Nobody does that, right?
And nobody posts the 3 weeks after the beach vacation and the fight around the credit card bill.
Because we can't buy groceries and diapers.
Yeah, they don't post that.
And so what you're seeing, and really our whole culture, even old people like me that look at social media, we all can fall prey to this because we're not seeing reality. What we're seeing is only what, have you ever seen these pictures of these little, like all the little children in the little, like they're 5 and 4 and 6, and they're all like wearing little white suits, and they're on a picnic blanket, and they're at the park, and it's like, oh, we're at the park. When I went to the park with 3 kids, it looked like freaking Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. One of them's in the mud, the other one's pulling the other one's hair. We wouldn't have had a picture like that in a million years. Can you imagine taking Rachel Cruz at 4 years old to the park and expecting her to behave? Not a chance. I don't know how these people get those. Are those mannequins? How do they get them to sit like that, to take that picture? And that's what you're comparing to.
They push a button now, and it takes 1,000 pictures at once, and it catches one. And it's like, that's it, right? Hey, so
Photoshop their own kids.
Hillary, where are you seeing this? Are you seeing it on social media? Are you getting your friends texting you about it? Where are you seeing it?
Just kind of everywhere. I mean, social media is a big part of it, obviously, with TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, but also just, at work, someone says, "Oh, I'm going to the Bahamas for 2 weeks," or, "Oh, look at my new Escalade," and it's just like,
have you ever been to the Bahamas?
No, but I'm like, your Escalade costs more than
Let me just tell you, there's a couple places there that are nice, but there's a whole lot of dumpy crap with one good picture on the website, too. I mean, it looks like 1960s Holiday Inn down there a lot of times. Be careful with that one. I love the Bahamas. I just love it. But anyway, yeah. But even Atlantis is getting really old. I'm just saying.
Here's Hillary. Here's I think it's a both and.
Yeah.
That Escalade is actually really an amazing car. They're very nice. And 99% chance that's not real money that bought that. And so if you just called into the show and said, "I'm a 33-year-old single female, I make $60,000, I only have $120,000 left on a house I bought myself,"
we would be going, touchdown!
We would celebrate you as like the model. Like I'm looking and saying, I hope my daughter Josephine is in that kind of situation. If she finds herself 33, making $60,000 in Utah, and she's unmarried, I hope she's exactly in the situation you're in. That'd be amazing.
You're amazing. You've done a great job.
You're doing it right.
I guess.
You're the indie filmmaker, and all you have is a camera, and you're telling real stories, and you can't compete with the Godzilla movies that are made in computer labs. That's what you're doing.
Well, that makes me feel better because I just, and I also recently just paid cash for my master's degree. And so all that money that I had saved, I'm just like, that could have been a vacation or a car. I shouldn't have done that. And
Dude,
so
you just put an investment in yourself for the next 50 years of your life.
You traded a master's degree for
so.
Bahamas. This is a good trade.
I hope so. Oh, man. But yeah, I guess it's nice to have some reassurance from you guys.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. I had to go through the thing when I was a little bit younger than you, and I was driving a Jaguar when I went broke. And it broke my heart to drive a hoopty after that. And I drove this horrible old vehicle. But I, by then, had become so disgusted with me and how I was behaving with the people you're talking about. I was buying stuff that for other people to look at. And I got all that completely fried out of my soul when I went broke. And I don't buy anything now for anybody except for Sharon and me. I don't even care if my kids like it. As a matter of fact, I kind of like it if they don't like it. So I buy stuff 100%. I drove a really nice car today because I really like that car. I don't even care if anybody sees it. I like the car, and I had a good time driving it here. And that's the only reason I buy it. So, but I used to have to pull up in those hoopties. I drove a car that was loaned to me that was at 90% Bondo. And the vinyl roof was torn loose across the front, so when you drove it, it filled up with air. It looked like a parachute on top. And so I would pull up at a stoplight after having driven a Jaguar, and the top would settle.
It would deflate.
It would deflate, come back down at the stoplight. Meanwhile, I'm sitting next to people in nice cars that just got home from the Bahamas. And I'm looking at them going, what am I doing wrong? And what I finally realized that today, if you did that, if you pulled up next to somebody at a stoplight today, the average car payment at that stoplight is $750. See, I like what you said.
Yes.
Your verbal comment was perfect.
You're winning, Hillary.